Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon. In this session, we are going to see keys and constraint. First of all, what is the constraints? Constraints are the rules enforced on column. Let's see, there is a one table means in that what I have to do means there is a one column as a name and I have to check that name uh, having the length is less than 20 or a greater than 20. So these are the some different checks means for an example, uh, I am giving you the example for that new query. This is the practice is the database and here I am creating the one table. Yeah, identity I have to tell you, but in the next session I will uh, show you that identity means there is a emp id is the column and I'm not passing any value to emp id, then it will 1 2 3 one by one increment value it will take. And yeah, here is the check constraint I applied here, correct. And age is integer data type and age is greater than or equal to 20 means in this table employee we are accepting the rows which having the age having the value is greater than 20. So this is nothing but the check constraint and same there are different constraints means check constraint, then there is a not null, default, primary key constraint, foreign key constraint, unique key constraints, and these are the keys in the uh, SQL Server. There are composite primary key, then composite unique key as well. And finally, we will see a table level constraint and column level constraint. First of all, I am showing you here. Here is the basic example to create the table. We have a syntax like the create table emp, and in the last session we seen there is a SQL command, correct. SQL commands means like the ddl, dml, dql, tcl, correct. SQL commands, and we seen ddl. So it is nothing but the type of the ddl command means when we have to create the structure means when we have to create the stored procedure, then table, view, database, then that command are come into the DDL category, data definition language. Got it? And create table EMP. And EMP, we have to specify the first of all column name, then data type, and there is a constraint if we have to specify like a check constraint, a default constraint, not null constraint, and identity value, correct. Means we are passing that particular means we don't need to pass the emp id in the while inserting data into the emp table, it will automatically increment by one. And from design point of view how to create that particular new table, so create new table, and in that you have to specify emp id, then what is the data type, integer, correct. Yeah, here is the integer. You have drop down, you have to select. Then name varchar 50. I am copying it. Name varchar 50. Where we have to uh, means apply the constant as a not null. So I am uncheck on it. Means it this emp id accepting null value. Correct. And age is the integer. So how to do that? Age integer. And one more thing, there is a created date and date time. And you can observe one more thing at here means I am passing identity 1 comma 1. How to do that? First of all, click on this column, then there is a identity specification is identity, we have to make it as a 1 means they are means starting from one value and increment means identity seed value is 1 and increment by 1 means there is a 1 after that 2 3 4 means there is a 1 value is added into the each number and there is a name so not null we added means there is a checked and yeah here is the because it is the allow null property cannot be set because it is an identity column perfect so we can specify not null at as well here no problem in it and age is greater than equal to 20 we have to specify this condition where to specify click on it then there is a condition we have to apply that condition in the yeah click on the age column right click on it and there is a check constraint so click on that and there is a we have to specify this condition yes age is greater than equal to 20 and check age or you can specify that in a description check age greater than or equal to 20 correct close it yeah and create date so right now uh, we are not supplying any allow null okay and only mm, they are these two columns means age and created date time can accept the null value and one more thing we have to pass the default value to the created date so here is the get date is the function means with the help of that we can passing the default value in it okay then close it at that time he will give us the one pop-up here saved the table as a emp I think first of all I have to check oops emp was present or not save the table or as emp name so this table will create means emp table means while creating new table at the end means there is a name or something means I am just inserted as a emp and click on ok so that table is created at here means if you see there is a emp table emp id name age created date correct same script as like this how to create that script from the design point of view means using design we created the table correct and you want a script so create to new query window so you will get the script of that particular table it is completely same as this script means create emp then emp id as int identity 1 comma 1 not null then name varchar 50 not null then age here this is the check constraint correct how to create it that using the script yeah here is the alter table add constraint sorry here is the check age but correct yeah means there is a alter table emp with check add constraint name then check is the condition check is the constraint name and here is the uh, constraint name check and whatever that your expression means condition and this is the created date time they are saying means created date time is the data type and it allowing null value correct and what we have to do the default value for the get date yeah means there is a created date so we are passing the default value as a uh, get date for the created date time created date is the column. Hmm. And next one is the first of all here we check we are adding the constraint and we are checking the constraint means we check add the constraint first and then check constraint check age whatever that particular name of the constraint So using that, you can also create the table. Same definition as here. How to insert the data in EMP table? So it is the DML query: insert, update, delete. These are nothing but the data manipulation language. And in that there are different commands, means like the using the insert command, insert query, we are uh, inserting the data into the table. So using the this wizard as well, you will get the query, means insert into, correct. So new query will create. Control X, I'm closing that. And yeah, here is the EMP table name, age, and created date we have to pass. Don't need to pass because we are passing the default value to get date. So I am removing that column. And name and age, first of all I am inserting Ketan, correct. And what is the age? 22, 24, no problem, correct. Yeah, insert this data. How to select that data? Select star from EMP. If I have to specify the column name, then I can. So yeah, miss new value one is inserted into the EMP table. And one more thing, Ketan is the name and age is the 24, and this is the default value, means get date we inserted. So I have to insert the one more record in it. If there is a 54, 50, 58 is also accepting, correct. And what conditions you have to apply? Means we have to check the condition before less than 20. So I am inserting Mahesh. Actually here I have to insert Ketan or some, means different name. But yeah, inserted it, no problem. I am deleting that as well. Delete from EMP, where EMP ID is equal to 2. Copy with header and equal to 2. Okay. Then it will delete the second record. Right now in table only one record. So I am inserting as a Mahesh. Mahesh. And third one is the Nilesh, and 12 years. Yeah, what message we are getting? The insert statement conflicted with check constraint, check age. The conflict occurred in the database practice, means this is the database name. Then EMP is the table name and age is the column name, correct. So it is not accepting that value 12 because the 12 is the condition we have to pass. 20 or greater than 20 age, then and then record will insert, correct. And you have to check the different conditions as well, means age is greater than 20, 20 or more than 20, or the age is less than or equal to 65 or 70. So you can miss alter that condition as well. So here is the table, correct. And what are the columns it having? EMP ID, then name, age, created date, correct. So in the constraint you will get the list of constraints, means whatever applied on the table. First of all, check age, modify. So this condition, and you can add the one expression as well here. So first of all, Actually, if I am inserting 58, no problem. What I did, actually, I modified the condition in it. So there is a age is less than equal to 20 and age is greater than equal to 65. Means we have to pass the value in between the 20 and 65. Correct? Close it. And if I am passing right now 85, so it will accept no, because till the 65 it can accept. If I am passing the 15, it will accept no, because there is a check constraint. If I am passing 65, yes, it will accept. If I am executing it, then it will accept, because we checked there is a condition 65 or less than 65. Correct? So 65 is accepted, and we can provide, let's say, 50, so it will also. Correct? Got it? Here is the Ganesh. Means those records are skipped because we tried to insert the data, but that record is not inserted. That's why that ID was skipped. Correct? Means 8, 9, 10, and 11 we got. And in SQL Server, we are saving the data in the form of page. Means I think I already shared this information with you. Means suppose there are 10 records. So those 10 records are inserted into the database. How? Means in the database there is a multiple tables, correct? And tables having the some key, or the table don't have any key, then we can call it as a heap table, and in the memory it will save. Like I am in Excel for your better understanding. So here is the memory structure of the means we are having a database having the table, correct, and table having the data, right? And where we have to store on a hard disk, correct, and on hard disk there is a memory allocation, correct, based on the data type. Means suppose this is the 1 byte, this block will act as a 1 byte, right? Means there is a, suppose there is a integer is the value 4 byte, right? So this 4 byte will allocate to the that particular integer value. Then one record will act as a this something whatever that particular bytes it's consumed. Is there are, let's say, how much there is a 1 2 3 4 5 means 20 20 23, correct, 23 bytes, one record allocated, and from this there is a new record will allocate for the 23 bytes, means whatever that bytes is consumed based on the data, correct. And so this is the first pointer, means this is the primary key, correct, of that particular record. Means from this the new record is started, and from this is the first record is started. This is the first record, this is the second record, and they are inserted into the database in the form of their order. Like suppose we created the primary key on it, then in background there is a clustered index will create. On the basis of that you will get the data. First of all, if I'm creating the index on the primary key on the name column, then all these things are in a one arrange, means in a one order. So based on that we are getting the data from the table. Means select star from AMP, in anything you will get the this order, means 135, because there is a right now priority to the first column, and based on that the data is saved into the table. And because this is the integer data and they're having the identity based on that data is stored. And we are select means when we are using the select query, at that time we are getting the data. Got it? In actually I will explain you this thing in the primary key, uh, and in that you will get means when we create the primary key back in the background clustered index will create, means there is a on order, means it determines the physical order of the table, and on this particular order the data is saved. Got it? uh, yes. And we seen there is a check constraint, but how to add that check constraint while creating the table? Right now we added it while creating the table, means this is the fresh table, means with the help of design we created that table and we added the check constraint on it. Got it? Means while creating the table using the constraint, means with the help of the constraint name we can add the constraint. And after the table creation, means the table is created, and after that I have to add the constraint, means before of this, means suppose the table is created and I have to create the constraint on it after the table creation. Correct? Uh, on new column or existing column. This is the H column, means it is already existing into the table, and if I have to add the constraint for that particular name column, then I will add it. Correct? These are the some different situations, means when we have to apply the constraint on the table while creating using constraint, and then after the table creation for new column or existing column. And we can drop that constraint, and disable constraint and enable constraints are only in case of the foreign key and check constraint, and rest of the constraint we can't disable or enable, only the fk means foreign key and check, and rest of the constraint we can drop. Means there are different constraints like not null default we can drop, but we can't enable or disable other constraint excluding a foreign key and check constraint. So let's see check constraint in detail. We saw while creating the table, and there are some example, uh, means with the help of that we have to create the constraint in the this manner. This is the table, means while creating the table. Okay, insert. Okay, and here we are adding the constraint, means we can define this situation, means created date is less than equal to get date, means we are checking the constraint, means the date should be equal to or less than, means it this column is not accepting future date. So how to do that constraint? Means here is the constraint, and there is a constraint name and condition. Got it? Means it is the example of using the constraint name. Here is the example of the first one while creating the table using the constraint value, constraint clause. And after that, third one, means once the table is done, means table is already available in the database and you have to add the constraint, means with new column, means I am adding the city column into the emp table, and with city is not equal to Delhi, means excluding Delhi I can accept all the values. Got it? So it is just simple, execute it, and yeah, means that table will not allow Delhi, means that table contain the column city, and city does not allow the value as the Delhi. And next one is the means for existing column. Let's say this is the EMP table, and yeah, means this name means suppose in some cases I am inserting one value in it. But sorry, uh, here is the EMP table, and right now I am providing blank value. It will accept, obviously, yes, because there is a nothing constraint on it. So you will get data like this, correct? Means blank value. It is not null for sure. It does not allow not null value, but blank it can accept. And if I have to restrict that value as well, then what I will do, I am simply adding the one constraint. Add constraint name is constraint check name, and check is the clause, and name means name of the particular column name, means emp id, and name is the column name is not equal to blank. I am adding this constant. Yeah, alter table statement conflicted because that table is already having the value. Got it? That's why that table is, we are not enforcing that constraint to the table. For that, what you have to do, you have to update that particular previous value. Update emp set name is equal to, I am saying as a no value or a blank value for which ID. So for where emp ID is equal to 12. Got it? Here is the blank value. My bad. Yeah, correct. Blank value. So shall I add the constraint right now? Yes, we can add. Yes, means constraints are applied successfully. Command completed successfully. So shall I insert the record? No, because it is saying that means we are not inserting the blank value in it. Means we applied the constraint. Got it? So means in the future it will does not allow blank value. And if you see here, there is a city is not equal to Delhi. So if how to check that there is a city, I have to provide city, and I'm providing it as a Pune. Obviously, Pune will accept. I am just adding as a test. Okay, okay. Here Pune will accept, and Delhi. Yeah, it's saying means we are checking this constraint, and for which database name, table name, column name, and with the check constraint as the name. How to see that check name means here this is the name, correct? For that, how to get that? Click on employee table, Alt F1, and yes, you here you will get the constraint and their constraint names. Means there is a constraint name check age. What is the condition? Yeah, this is the condition. Age is greater than equal to 20. I think you can't see. Yeah, yeah, 20 and less than uh, great greater than equal to 20 and less than equal to 65. City is not allowing daily value. Name is not accepting blank value. Means the default value for that particular column. So these are the check constraint. Got it? So this is the Delhi, and we that value is not accepting. And right now we have to see how to enable and disable that constraint. Correct? So very simple. With the help of no check, we can do that. Alter table name, and no check constraint name we have to provide. Control X, and means what it does, actually it is not checking that particular constraint. So can I insert that value? Yes, yes, because we allowed that constraint, and right now in future I have to again reback, means um, enable that constraint. So we have to use check constraint name. Yeah, means we are does not allow Delhi value. Got it? Yeah, means this is the check and no check. No check means disable, and check means enable. Okay. And how to drop that constraint? See, very simple. Alter table name, then drop constraint name. This is the syntax. Means instead of here the table name we have to provide, here is the constraint name we have to provide. Then that constraint will drop. Got it? So if you click on it and let's say Alt F1, then yeah, that constraint are dropped on the particular which column name? City column name. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.